Breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alerts.
Despite liberals around the country almost losing their minds over President Trump's promised tax reform, the measure passed, and the outcry is just as bad as they promised it would be. Unfortunately, those who only understand what the liberal media is telling them about this tax plan are just as outraged as they've been told to be. The truth of the matter is that this tax plan is exactly what President Trump promised that he would be passing while he was on the campaign trail. No matter what other allegations are leveled against him, the president knows what it takes to create an environment where business can thrive, and he's doing just that. Not only has he made sure that businesses are subsidized for keeping manufacturing here in the United States, but this new tax plan is going to put more money in workers' pockets a lot sooner than we might have guessed. According to CNBC, within hours of the measure passing, huge businesses started talking about the Christmas bonuses that their employees would be enjoying. Somehow this is still infuriating the liberals who can't stand for this bill to have a good reputation, but you can judge what you think of its results for yourself. AT&T said in a press release Wednesday that it would give more than 200,000 of its U.S. workers who are union members a special bonus of $1,000. The company also increased its capital expenditures budget by $1 billion in the U.S. Congress, working closely with the president, took a monumental step to bring taxes paid by U.S. businesses in line with the rest of the industrialized world, CEO Randall Stephenson said in a statement. This tax reform will drive economic growth and create good-paying jobs. In fact, we will increase our U.S. investment and pay a special bonus to our U.S. employees. AT&T had previously said that it would invest $1 billion in the U.S. if competitive tax reform legislation was passed, and has said that the tax reform framework could increase demand for AT&T's services. Political candidates keeping their campaign promises might be a new and astonishing concept to those who lean to the left, but it's exactly what the doctor ordered to restore the faith of everyday Americans in a system of government that was so close to going amok under the DNC's rule. The common-sense approach that the president takes to dealing with every problem set before him is a refreshing change to the Washington game of chess that most high-ranking politicians have been playing in recent decades. And lest someone think that this was an isolated incident, CNBC published more than one article about the windfall that was handed down to thousands of employees at other companies because of the tax burden that would be shifted off their employers' shoulders. Fifth Third Bancorp will pay more than 13,500 employees a bonus and raise the minimum wage of its workforce to $15 an hour after the passage of the Republican tax plan that will cut the bank's corporate tax rate. Fifth Third is yet another company to announce a bonus for employees because of the tax plan. AT&T said earlier Wednesday that it would pay more than 200,000 U.S. employees $1,000 each and increase its capital spending budget by $1 billion. Wells Fargo, meanwhile, also said it would be boosting its minimum wage for employees to $15 an hour, which was prompted by the tax plan. The San Francisco-based bank also said it would target $400 million in donations to community and nonprofit organizations next year. Cincinnati-based Fifth Third, the 15th largest U.S. bank by asset size, said the tax cut allowed it to reevaluate its employee pay and pass along some of the windfall. Nearly 3,000 workers will see hourly wages rise to $15. The $1,000 one-time bonus is expected to be paid by the end of this year, the bank said, assuming President Donald Trump signs the bill into law by Christmas. Senior managers and top executives are excluded from the special payments. It is good for our communities, employees and Fifth Third Bank, said CEO Greg Carmichael in a statement. You may or may not love every company mentioned here, but the point is that the concept of less tax burden and more money in the pockets of employees worked, and no matter how hard the Democrats on Capitol Hill try to convince you and I that the tax reform was a terrible idea, thousands of people are having a merrier Christmas, and will have a better 2018 because of it. Part of the push against this tax bill was no doubt because of the upcoming midterm elections, when the good people of the United States will have felt these results, and be reminded of it when it comes time to cast their ballot. Liberals are painting this as if the tax cuts for corporations mean more money for that company fat cats, and none for the common people. The fault and logic there is that they're measuring the leadership of every company the way their party runs the cash box. Some companies give the money back to their employees, like the ones mentioned above. Democrats make it a point to convince you that they should get a bigger chunk of your money so that they can dole it out fairly, and by fairly, they mean to whoever is most likely to vote for them come next election. But that's not what we want. We want to keep as much as we can and give it to whoever we want to give it to, namely, the economy. The immense frustration by DNC leaders in Congress has heated up to a boiling point as the Liberals are finding just how tied their hands are when the president both communicates with and advocates for the American people. Check out these responses on Twitter. As you can see, everyone's favorite Democrats are pretty upset about this bill. If you had any concerns before, their resistance should tell you everything you need to know. If this group of liberals hates the next tax plan, chances are it'll be the best thing ever to happen to our tax code, and by extension the American wallet. Never let it be said that liberals gave up a single tax dollar without a fight. They just happen to have lost this one, and it's paying off big time for middle-class Americans.